Hi.
There's Nina. Hello. Oh, yeah. You came prepared.
I'm
You,
ready. I'm ready to go. I am ready to go. Hi.
yes, you were. Hello. Look at you in your purple for Spirit Day with your rainbow behind
I
you.
it is a big day. It's a big day.
It is a huge day. And I thought though, I thought I ordered a woman for this.
You're
Um,
getting you're getting a big woman. This is as feminine as I am usually in drag. So I thought,
No, this is great. Serving dad realness is everything I could ever want from you. You look wonderful in and out of drag, and I just want everybody tuning in to this right now to know that on top of all of the amazing things that Nina West has done this year, from partnering with Dolly Parton for a charity merch initiative to the
yeah,
Dragcast podcast to the projects that we're going to talk about today, Nina has become a very dear friend of mine throughout this very chaotic year. And that sweet, kind-hearted person that you guys see on TV, like that's real. Nina is just so fun and kind and easy to talk to and just a fabulous person. So support the hell out of Nina West at all
thanks,
costs, truly. Um,
thanks.
but actually, wait, just kidding. I'm going to go back on that because as we learned on EW's Binge podcast this year, there was a moment when congeniality cracked with Ariel Versace. Do we care to
Yeah.
elaborate on that?
So it was actually it was the episode that I went home on, and so that's episode 11 of season 11,
We just
which
pretend
was
that episode
truly
never happened.
legendary. 11 of 11 of 11.
Mhm.
So it was a sign when I walked in the workroom and I said 11 legendary. I should have just known I would have not made it all the way.
Oh no.
But but the moment wasn't caught. I think the moment that was caught on camera, you see Ariel looking around the workroom and she's pointing at wigs and she goes, "Well, that's my wig and that's my wig." But I knew I was. I thought I was on camera, but I just completely lost it. And I go, I didn't steal your wig." And I said a couple other choice words, but I love Ariel, and it was just I think I was feeling the stress of the day, you
Mhm.
know.
Yeah. No, it's understandable. You're a human and you have these moments, and it's so nice to see, like, because when you first told me that story, it was on the podcast, so I didn't get to see your face explaining that, but like, that puts a sort of emotion behind the moment, seeing you be like, ah.
I was very like I didn't do. I was very this, and I knew that moment because I was like, I didn't steal your wigs. I didn't. I came. My mistake was I brought a wig that looked like yours.
Right. Well, that is we have to after that story we have to put all the love out there for Ariel. We love Ariel. It was a fun moment, so put love out there to Ariel. But we have to get to the real reason that you're here, which is to talk about two incredible projects that you
Yeah,
have. Heels of Horror, which
yeah,
begins streaming digitally for the first time on October 28th, and Divas for Democracy, a voting variety special with drag performers and Broadway stars that is airing October 18th on Stage It with Nina
hmm
as host. But before that, though, I want to set the stage. You've had a crazy year. There is now Nina West art in the Columbus Museum.
yeah. It's this. Yeah, it's been a nutty year. So I got home. I was in New York during when Broadway shut down, and I was there seeing shows. I was gonna attend the opening night of a sixth musical, and which was March 13th, and Broadway shut down that morning. And I came home, and I kind of figured I was like, "What the hell am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? What am I gonna create? What's next?" And I knew we were in for a bit of a long haul, but I didn't think it'd be this long. I thought I'd be back to work and back in bars and in theaters doing tours and stuff. So I didn't know I'd be home this long, trying to focus my energy, my creative output. So it's been really great though because it's been incredibly grounding, and so I've gotten this chance to reconnect. That's the last 2 years I've been on the road, so I have this ability to come home and reconnect and reevaluate and reposition my life in Columbus, which has been very, very important. And I've done drag for 20 years. 18 of those years was right here in Columbus, Ohio, where I cut my teeth and got my start. And so my roots are really deep here. And so to come back, my first show back was at the Columbus Zoo Aquarium where we were doing a launch of their new sea lion exhibit, which didn't, because of COVID, didn't get a big fanfare. So we did a launch there, and then I did this this one night only kind of jazz trio concert with some of my friends at the museum, and they surprised me with putting a piece of art by Lisa McClimate in the museum, and it was truly humbling, because you never think that you're going to end up in a museum. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm old enough to be in a museum.
19 is not very old, let's not even play. But as I told you, I think I said to you, I was like, you are the art. Like, let's be clear on that. You are the art in so many capacities. Now, I also really loved that you performed with the sea lions at the sea lion exhibit. So what is, like, who's easier to work with, sea lions or other drag queens in a bar?
It depends. I mean, they both bark the same, so it just depends on what you're gonna get. Sea lions probably take more training, but are more well behaved.
Yes, because they probably listen when you tell them not to do things, or to, like, they're trained. They know not to mess with you. But drag queens, they'll push your buttons.
I mean, a sea lion will push your button too, though, man. And when that happens, get ready, because they're really, really strong. They're super muscular.
Call me man. Are we bros now?
Yeah, brother. Yeah, how you doing there, brother? I have been filming nonstop for Heels of Horror. I've been doing a lot of work for Heels of Horror, and I'm working with a lot of heterosexuals on the filming side of things. And they're like, "Yeah, brother." I'm like, "This is the most, like, masculine environment I've been in a long time." So I'm just carrying it over. So hi, brother.
I like that. There's people in the comments now saying, "Not brother, not this." I'm gonna do the Jan, not this, and just cut this live. But no, we have to get.
It's Kiki Ball Change, who I love. Hi, Kiki.
Hi, Kiki. Now, leading up to Divas for Democracy, where you're not working with seals, but with real icons of drag and Broadway. Tell us a little bit about this variety show and what we can expect, and what sort of the goal of this special is.
Yeah, so the most important thing that we can do right now is if you're still in states that have registration for voting open, we mobilize and motivate people to go register to vote. And so Divas for Democracy has teamed up with Drag Out the Vote, which is an incredible, incredible organization that is trying to motivate the vote in this election. It's a nonpartisan organization that brings issues to awareness, and especially the issue of voting and access to voting, and again, mobilizing the vote. So Divas for Democracy, they call me up. The directors call me up and they say, "Hey, we're trying to do this thing, and would you be interested?" And I was like, "I'm sorry, did you say Broadway?" I was like, "Pardon me, what Broadway?" So it was, and if you know me, I just really love musical theater, and I love the stage, and I love activism. I also love this great democracy we live in. So I felt pretty excited to have the ability to use this intersection of my life and bring it to the stage in a brand new way. So we worked with incredible artists. I mean, like I'm partnered with Stephanie Block, Tony Award winning artist, brilliant performer Stephanie Block. Shoshana Bean is in it with Brooklyn Heights. I mean, Bianca Del Rio is doing a set. I mean, like Jujubee, Valentina, Annalie Ashford. You cannot beat this lineup, and it's all done to motivate and get out the vote. And I think that is so powerful. I think COVID and the pandemic has really positioned us to try to do things differently and try to, I think, address things that are of great concern, from the Black Lives Matter movement to beyond, especially the issue of voting. And I think that because we have found ourselves in this unique position of quarantine and isolation, we've also found this ability to have these different kinds of partnerships, right? I never thought in a million years I'd ever do something with Dolly Parton, but because of the way that everything happened with COVID and being isolated and at home and in quarantine, I reach out and she's available, which otherwise in a world like you know, in a non-COVID world, I don't know if she would have been available, you know, and it's the same situation. We're positioned to make a really huge impact in this election because we're a lot more accessible to one another to have the conversation and to meet people where they're at. And I think that that's really valuable and super, super important.
Yes.
So this Divas for Democracy event, again, brought to us by Drag Out the Vote, is super, super unique because I don't know if this would have happened in another world. And you can't even tell. I'm just so excited that I get to like do this and do this and still be able to create even from my home in Columbus and share the beauty of Columbus, Ohio with the rest of the world, with Broadway and Divas for Democracy and Drag Out the Vote, and just do it. It's pretty incredible. So
you're the host. Are you also going to be doing like performances? Are you going to be getting in on that stuff too? I'm co-hosting with Kelty Knight of Entertainment Tonight, who is so fantastic and so wonderful. She's so great, and she's basically a giant drag queen. She loves drag so much, and she's like auditioned for like 35 or 40 Broadway shows. So like it was like a no-brainer. Yeah. So me and Kelty are co-hosting, and then I'm performing. I'm performing a number with Stephanie J. Block. So that's tea. I'm dropping the tea. It's this Sunday. You have to get your tickets. It's a pay what you can donation to Drag Out the Vote and for Divas for Democracy and motivating the vote. So yeah, I see that in the comments. This is so important, right? Like it's kind of great that I'm here today because I can help motivate the vote early and talk about how important it is to vote early. Today is Spirit Day, and we're commemorating that and raising our voices for GLAAD and raising our voice against anti-bullying. And so it's kind of cool that you asked me to be here today because there's a lot that we can talk about. Yeah, because I know that one of the things that struck me about when we did the news of the special was that it was saying that it was nonpartisan, but there is a certain element of this where it's raising issues in the queer community that are going to be important and I guess on the ballot this year. So what are some of those issues that you think the special is going to call attention to, and why they're important to you to call attention? I think the special is really important because it's first and foremost, I think, motivating the vote, like I said. Secondly, it's talking about these issues that are really important to many of us. It's talking about LGBTQIA access. It's talking about immigration rights and access. It's talking about Black Lives Matter and being a person of color in this country and how we can make that better. I think this is a really wonderful chance for us to collectively use our voice in a really powerful, beautiful way through the music of Broadway, which is moving in and of itself, right? And they all tell these really incredible stories. And I think we can take these and change the meaning for so many people to talk about what those songs might mean in a different kind of context. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, because that was like, what do you think is so I guess because Broadway and drag stars, they do sort of go together, especially in stars like this, like peanut butter and jelly, chocolate and peanut butter. It's a really good mix. What is it about those two worlds that combines together to make for something so sweet on a special like this? Oh my gosh, because the world of musical theater has, for me at least personally, was the first place that embraced me as a coming out gay man. And I think there's a lot of progressive voice in musical theater. And we as queer men, LGBTQIA plus people, we love to lift up our divas and celebrate our divas. Who's more of a diva than someone like Shoshana Bean who belts out and wails on these songs, and it just makes a drag queen go, yes, queen, give me that. I need that recording. I need to perform that. And there's power associated with the feminine and the female. And I think that's what this event is doing. We're lifting up women, we're lifting up queens, we're lifting up kings, we're lifting up these voices that truly do celebrate different parts of our culture and our communities. Drag queens are seen as like these subcultural celebrities that are that celebrate this community, this LGBTQIA plus community, and these drag divas are seen of these the pillars of like this musical theater world, like the untouchable but still so accessible, right? It's just, I don't know, I think it's a really awesome combination to blend the two worlds and celebrate something that I think is pretty special. Yeah, your passion for it clearly comes through. But I think a word of advice though, if we're going for unity and love, I think maybe Bianca Del Rio is not the right person for a guest spot on this.
But you,
So,
no, but I don't think what I think we're going for, Joseph Nolfi, is the. I'm calling you by your full name.
not
I think what
bro.
we're going for is there's a place for everybody under this umbrella of hope, even people who are bitter.
Well, there's room for everybody. Let's just say that.
Well, okay, you better with your Gia Gunn quote. There's room for everybody. Let's just
Yes,
say
we need
that.
satanic representation on this special from Bianca Del Rio. No, I love Bianca. I love Bianca.
I
I gotta put
love
that out
Bianca.
there. I always do that. I always say something like shady, and then I'm like, no, I love that person. No, we have to put love out there. But no, I do love Bianca.
It's good. I watched your interview last week with the Boulay brothers, and you had made them tongue pop. It's been with me all week. It's been with me all week. I'm like, I can't believe he asked the Boulay brothers to tongue pop.
Well, I knew because, like, obviously on that show, they are like pushing people to do these insane things that are like they would never do in a million years. And I was like, what is the one thing that'll make the Boulay brothers melt into like just a puddle of nothing? And I was like asking them to tongue pop, and that's it. So
I'm
me.
telling you, I could never do Dracula. It is so next level and so amazing and terrifying. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Mhm. Well, see, even it's so funny that just your whole setup right now is just like I look like I belong more on Dracula than you do right now.
I mean, it's like it is a contrast. You look like a vampire. You're like, I want to interview you about sucking your blood.
bro, I want to suck your blood, bro.
Brother.
We're so horrible. This is so horrible. But I do. So let's get back to some serious things with the election. Yeah. I mean, you were telling me that Miss Patricia Clarkson, enlisted you personally for this song that you guys did for Kamala Harris.
Yeah. So last year, I had the ability to go to the Emmys, and I went to a couple parties, and I went to the BAFTAs event at I think the Beverly Hilton, and Patricia Clarkson was their honoree, and I have no shame. Like when you're in drag, and I was the only person in drag there, and drag is powerful. And I think RuPaul's even said that you have a lot of power when you walk into a room in full drag, and especially when you're the only one in drag at an event. And so I saw Patricia Clarkson across the way, and she was wearing this really gorgeous white outfit, and she was across the pool, and I hobbled my way over there like a good man in a dress usually does, and that is me. I hobbled my way over to her, and she saw me, and our eyes locked, and
she said,
she couldn't have been sweeter, and she couldn't have been nicer. She said she played with my wig. We locked eyes, and then we kind of maintained a little bit of contact, and she sent me some emails, and then we had her on the podcast, and we became even closer. And she called me. She's never called me, and she called me about a month and a half ago, and she said, "Nina, we have to do this." And I said, "What is it?" And so she starts talking about her idea, and what's really motivating is how invested people are in wanting to get the message out about how important this election is. And Patty Clarkson is through and through just one of the most amazing people I've ever met. And she said, "Come do this video. Let's do it on my rooftop, and we'll be in New York City, and we'll just tell people that Kamala is fantastic and wonderful." And I said, "What is this life?" Because again, Joey, this wouldn't have happened. This making lemonade out of lemons, right? You know, like this wouldn't have happened in another circumstance. Like I wouldn't have been available. She wouldn't have been available.
But that was her roof.
Well, no, we were someplace else. But
okay.
Yeah, I know. The idea of it. I mean, when the pitch was, I was like, oh, that sounds amazing. No, but she's just the real deal. She's the real deal. And, you know, I don't have a lot of experience in Hollywood. I have a lot of experience of being around people who are everyday brothers. And I know. It's throwing me too. I'm getting lost. But to have the experience with her was just remarkable. It was amazing.
Yeah. I also like the Patricia Clarkson voice you were slipping into in and out of.
Nina. She's so effortless. She's so effortless. Did you see in the video? So the video we're talking about is this Kamala Harris video for "I'm a Woman." The song from that it was her inspiration was from Cher and Raquel Welch. She's like, we have to do this, and so we shot this video. It came out last week or a week and a half ago, and did you see her leg? Did you see how gorgeous her legs are? I was like, you are not even real.
Naomi Smalls is shaking.
Naomi Smalls said, oh, yeah, she's quaking in her 9-inch stiletto.
Right, exactly. You have such a way with these divas of the screen and divas just in general. They love you. I mean, Rihanna in your DMs, Patty calling you up, doing pins with Dolly, Glenn Close doing your podcast. I mean, can we talk about Glenn Close in Hillbilly Elegy? Like, you saw the trailer yesterday, right?
Yeah, I saw it. It's so amazing. Glenn Close is like, I don't know how that happened. I have a great group of people who work with me who make magic, and we got on the phone with Glenn Close before we did the podcast. And it's hard to make me speechless. I get giddy and I get really excited when I meet people that I really, really admire and love, but I don't usually go speechless. And I went absolutely dumb. I was like, and she's talking, she goes, yeah, she's kind of giving some talking points, and I do a podcast with my friend Patricia, who's the co-host, and
so many iconic Patricias in your life.
Yeah, so many iconic Patricias. And I looked over, so Patricia's on her phone listening, muted, and I look over and I go, "What did she just say?" And then we talked to her, and I couldn't get over. As a musical theater nerd, all I wanted to do was talk about Sunset Boulevard, and Sunset Boulevard, the stage show, Sunset Boulevard, the movie that may hopefully be made, who's going to be cast, and I was just like, because I'm so in it, and it was just awesome. It was so awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it was incredible. I mean, your podcast, we do have to shout that out because your podcast is amazing. Shout out to Cassie. But I mean, Hillbilly Elegy, though. I mean, we got to talk about that. That is amazing. I mean, the wig, the t-shirts, the cigarettes, with you being from Columbus, me in Pittsburgh. I mean, this is our territory. This Glenn Close as an Appalachian grandmother. I mean, did those kitten t-shirts in the trailer speak to you on like a soulful level? Because they spoke to me.
I really thought I was looking in a mirror when I was watching the trailer. I was like, that's what I look like when I wake up in the morning. How very dare she? How very dare she? And then the only thing that happens is like a slight foundation and a little bit of a shirt change. But no, but those are people you see around a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's true. She captured it. It took me right back to being 10 years old, walking in Pittsburgh. So I loved it. But speaking of wigs and dress up, Heels of Horror, your annual Halloween live show is back again this year, but digitally. And it premieres October 28th online, and there's 3 episodes. So you were originally, I think, trying to see if this could work as a live performance this year in person, right? Like, so when did you realize, when this wasn't going to be possible, and how long did it take you to sort of plan and adapt and come up with this new concept?
It's ever changing. The world of COVID requires us to be really pliable and flexible and kind of just moving on our feet. So yeah, we were initially I wasn't going to be home, and Heels of Horror was going to be, we were going to take a break from it this year. Yeah. And this was back in February. It was like, we had made the decision, we were going to put something out, and I was like, okay, we'll deal with that. And then, I've been doing this show for 12 years in Columbus, and it's a big tradition for myself, for the community. I love it. I love Halloween. I love doing the show and producing the show. So that was a hard decision. And then COVID happened, and I was like, okay, how am I going to figure out what's the way to do this? How do we pivot? I know everyone's been saying pivot a lot, but how do we maneuver this and do this show safely? And so initially it was like, well, we're just going to put out a couple videos and see. And then restrictions started to lift, and I had friends going back to work in bars. I was like, well, this makes sense. Yeah, maybe we can start to look at maybe doing it outdoors, or we can figure out how to do it in some kind of distance capacity, and what does it look like? And I have been, everyone's risk aversion is different, and I have, for the most part, been pretty close to home, doing a lot of virtual events and trying to stay, for myself, pretty responsible for myself, because, I have older parents, and, I'm trying to see my family, and I'm just trying to take care of myself. And so I was like, okay, we're gonna maybe do an outdoor event. So we've been pivoting a lot. And so we've really settled into our groove over the last 4 weeks, when usually the show is about a 6-month process of planning and putting together. So we've been really working very hard for the last 3.5 weeks to make this show happen. And I have to tell you, we've got a lot of magic happening. We've got Sidney James Harcourt from the original company of Hamilton is in the show, and he's doing this incredible set. We have Jenica Tastrophe, or Jenica McCleary, who's like the world's leading Bette Midler impersonator, who sings live and is going to be doing this insane, amazing Winifred Sanderson that it's going to blow you away. We have James Dean, who is a Columbus king, who is smart, funny, accessible, ridiculously great. We have a 9-piece band led by my drag daughter Greta Goodbottom. The band is called the Skeleton Crew. We have dancers. We've got cameo appearances I'm not going to tell you about. We have a new Halloween song coming out with another SNL alum. We have, there's a lot going on in this big, fast-moving world of Heels of Horror. And it's, there's even more. There's so many things that are going to happen October 28th that I hope people will tune in.
They will.
It's nerve-wracking, right? Because what it is going into a virtual space is so different, and you want people to experience it, and I totally understand. I think for me, if I were to do this show in person, and if someone were to get sick, it would break me. Right. It would make me absolutely. It would just break me, and I couldn't do that. And I support everyone who's doing everything that they're doing. My risk aversion level is just different. And so I've got to thank my sponsors, since we're here, for pushing this show forward. We could not do it without them. Our presenting sponsor, Equitas Health, which is an LGBTQIA+ health organization here in Central Ohio that has taken care of so many people in our community. They're their presenting sponsor. Big Lots, which is a Columbus-based company, which I'm sure a lot of people in the Midwest are very, very familiar with. And of course, the most delicious White Castle, who've been just so fantastic. So fantastic. And a lot of support from other friends. We could not do this without them. And I'm hoping that it provides a sense of normalcy in a way, or in tradition, but also just a really fun way to show off Halloween and do it in a different kind of way. So thanks for asking. I really appreciate that. I have to show you something.
Oh, okay.
This is I should send this to you so you can auction it off. Wait, first of all, Spirit Day.
Spirit Day, purple.
Can you see this?
I can see half of it. How to deal with people when feeling very attacked.
I don't know if you remember this. I don't know if in season 11, Ariel Versace was holding this underneath the table reading. She's pulling a Laganja. This was like a prop from our very first episode on season 11. Very first episode. Ariel was holding it. Somehow, I don't know how, somehow it found its way in my suitcase.
Like a wig found its way into Raja's suitcase?
Yeah, it should have. But I'm gonna I think what I should do is I should have the cast of season 11 sign it, and we should auction it off for charity. Wouldn't that be good?
Yes, do it. Yeah, absolutely do that. That is incredible. I think that, yes, I would bet like $11 million on that. So
would you really?
I have $11 million. Actually, it's a little known fact. I have exactly.
That is Monday in the Entertainment Weekly. Hello.
I have exactly $11 million, so I will donate $11 million if you send that to me.
Okay, we'll make a great organization.
That is a great idea. Is this an exclusive that you stole this from the set?
Yes! No one knows until right now.
You know Michael from VH1 is watching this freaking out right now. You know he's freaking out. Shout out
I don't
to
know.
Michael.
Honestly, I don't know how it got. I really, truthfully, kind of don't know how it got in my
Now, I also see choreography was credited on the show page of this, like Nina West doing choreography.
Have you never? Okay, I mean, like, I'm not gonna try to sell something that's not real. So, I don't know. I mean, did you see the Olympic challenge? I did have a cute little booty bop. I was like, bam, bam. It's no, like, listen, can I tell you low key, this is so high key. I have to say this. I've been sliding in their DMs nonstop.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot get off of Aquaria's stories because she's doing this stuff on the tour, on the Voss Halloween tour. It's like Gaga. It's like a Gaga mix, and it's like driving me nuts. It is so good, and I keep liking it. I keep going back and I keep watching, and I'm just like, God. I mean, so it's not like that. It's better.
Oh, it's better. It's better. Mm-hmm.
No, but like super low key, but really high key. I've always loved Aquaria, but my God, it is so good. I'm like,
okay, so let's walk me through a piece of choreography right now. Teach it to me.
Okay. Dali a tu cuerpo la alegría Macarena. So you go, okay, right, left, right, left.
Nina.
So head on your head. Then cross your body, hit your hips, and go down.
You're just going to keep going with this. You see my face and you're going to keep going.
She's a dancer. Alvin Ailey called me. I said, no, I'm too busy doing the Macarena. You hold your horses, Alvin Ailey.
I can't believe you just tried to pass off the Macarena as choreography. I love it.
We can do another one. We can do another one. So you can stand up. Here, stand up.
Okay, all right. Well,
okay. So you're going to do, okay, you ready?
Well, this is on a stand. Okay.
I'm holding mine, but I'm going to do it.
Okay.
So the first move is a jump to the left and then a step to the right.
This is over. Not this. To quote Jan, not this.
Oh, and I said, listen, New York, I can't dance right now. I'm choreographing.
Did you teach Patricia Clarkson and Glenn Close on the Macarena?
Oh my gosh. No, we were doing the choreography for the I'm a Woman clip for the Kamala Harris support, and Patricia Clarkson taught me how to soften my wrist. Oh, there's a bug! Oh, my head hurts.
I can't breathe. See, that was some spirit from the season 11 set, a production assistant that is haunted by you stealing that prop. That just summoned that.
We want it back.
They sent it there. It is come to steal.
It is like my most Trixie Mattel moment was to steal something from set.
I thought it just wandered into your bag, Nina.
It did. I have more dancing to do, so if you would kindly.
I have been trying to get you to do this the whole broadcast. Yes.
Boo boo.
Yes. Boo boo. Boo boo.
Boo.
Okay, I should probably get back to my questions. I think I have one more. What is going to be your Halloween costume this year? Do you have like something that you're thinking of like on the night of Halloween? I know Heels of Horror is going to be on Halloween too, but like you have
what am I gonna do? Yeah, I actually do have something, and I have something. I don't know if I'm allowed to share it. I think no, there is something for Halloween that should be hitting. It's not, and this is so like there's Heels of Horror, which I hope everyone gets tickets to. Vimeo.com on demand. Heels of Horror. There's also something, if you think I'm trying to like tap dance around it. Let me put a very serious filter on. So what is happening is I love filters.
Me too. I can't get enough.
Okay, so imagine a perfect Nina West dream come true Halloween.
So you're gonna be Cinderella.
No, but
Okay, I'm not gonna speculate because I don't want to get you in trouble. I truly don't know
but
what it is.
just watch my space.
Okay.
It's gonna be really great, and it's a big. Where did you had the bird from the thing from the, that's the bird from us. I do story times, and that's don't let the bird stay up late. Yeah,
Okay, I'm gonna leave that one there then.
it's adorable.
Don't let the pigeon do story time.
See?
Yes. Well, this has been, I mean, my favorite part, or my least favorite part, I should say, of talking to you is when I have to say goodbye. My dear Nina West, is there anything else that you would like to say about voting or Heels of Horror or just anything in general?
Yeah, so listen, we are in the final stretch. There's only about 21 days left until the election. And it's really important that everyone votes. It's very important that you use your voice, that you use your power and the greatest gift of this democracy, and vote, vote, vote. Of course, you can only do it once, but
Yes.
Make sure you have a plan and make sure you're ready to go. Vote early. Make a plan of how you're gonna cast your ballot and put that into action. And don't miss Divas for Democracy this Sunday. It's available on Stage It. You can go to divasfordemocracy.com. And also follow my friends Drag Out the Vote on Instagram. Also, don't forget to get your Heels of Horror tickets on vimeo.com/on-demand/Heels of Horror or /.
I wrote that down so that I was going to say it too, but you just said it for me. So yes, wonderful. Thank you so much.
What are you going to be for Halloween?
I was waiting for you to ask me. I'm going to be Glenn Close from Hillbilly Elegy. I actually think I am. That just came to me right now, but I think I actually might do that now.
Do you know? Okay, can I tell you really fast before that in that interview that we did with her, I forgot that she was in Hook as one of the pirates. The movie Hook with Robin Williams and Dustin Hoffman from like 1992. She's one of the pirates in Hook, and I completely forgot about that. And then we were doing our research
before
for
I
the
was born.
No, sweetheart, we know now you're a vampire, so you can't pass off that you're like, that you suck the blood out of all of the people.
Wait, no, I didn't. She's in that. It's been a while since I've seen that movie.
Okay, so Google. It's one of my favorite things. Google Glenn Close Hook, and you're gonna be. If you've seen that movie, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, it's in the pirate scene when they're in the like the docked area.
So is it like, because it has been, honestly, it has been about like 20 years since I've seen that movie. I haven't seen that movie since I was a kid. But is it like she's part of the cast or it's like a cameo?
She's a cameo. And it's like, and once you know it's her, like once you see it, you're like, I can't believe that's been Glenn Close this entire time.
Oh.
It was something I heard about years and I forgot about it.
Wait, I'm going to Google it right now. I have my laptop right here, actually.
It's like, that's what you should be for Halloween.
Hold on, Glenn Close Hook.
That's okay. Like a deep cut, and people would be like, oh, I didn't know. Well, now they do if they watch this, but,
I just Googled it. That's Glenn Close?
That's Glenn Close! Might I say this? Also, if you want to meet somebody who's more perfect than you ever imagined they could be, it's Glenn Close. I mean, really wonderful person.
I'm just still gagged that is Glenn Close. I did not know that was her. It looks exactly like, do you remember when she did the man filter on herself a few years ago? That's what this is.
You mean this filter?
Right. Yes, that one. Exactly. Yes.
Hey.
Oh, my editor is yelling at me in the comments. She said, wow, there are several stories on EW.com about this, sweeties. Shout out
Thank
to
you.
Jillian.
It's incredible.
Shout out to Jillian. Do you remember Jillian from the podcast?
Of course I remember Jillian. Hi, Jillian.
Yeah, Jillian's there now.
I'm like, hi, Jillian. That's a terrible. I have to listen to her voice before I can do it.
All right, we are both. We got to cut this off. We are both just high on each other's vibes. We got there. You go. There you go. That ethically sourced prop. So everybody,
Probably our department's probably like, where'd that book go? I'm like this. I don't know.
this is the first time we have highlighted a crime on Queening Out. So this is the first.
I'm fine. I'm going to give you the true tea. Ariel put it in my bag.
Are we just blaming this on her just for the sake
No,
of
because I love her so much. I love her so much. I know she'll go with it. She'll laugh about it.
I think she unfollowed me, so I won't be able to message her that this happened, but you should.
So what you're telling me is now she's going to unfollow me? Thanks.
I'm sorry. You just outed her. All right. Everybody, thank you so much. I'm sorry we have gone way over time, but I just love talking to you all the time.
I love talking to you.
Such an amazing person, such a good
You are
light in
too.
this community and in the world, and you just thank you for everything. Everybody, please buy tickets to Heels of Horror, vimeo.com/on-demand/Heels of Horror, and tune in to Divas for Democracy October 18th on Stage It. And join me next week for 2 interviews. One is a surprise guest that we are trying to lock in a date for. All will be revealed next week. And the second interview we're doing next week is with Evie Oddly, Thursday at 2 Eastern, right here on EW's Instagram. And Nina, before we go, is there anything you want to say to Evie's dad?
I know the holidays look a little different this year, but don't be afraid to reach out. I have a really excellent sweet potato recipe.
Wonderful. Perfect note to end on. Nina, thank you so much. I will talk to you soon.
I love you. Thank you, Joey.
Love
Thanks,
you.
everybody.